Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Here we are again, round two versus uh, is this a cat in the hat? A couple of different things. We're gonna mulligan this. It's got one land. It's not very good. Let's see what the next one brings us. This is livable. No threat, but lots of disruption on multiple angles. That being hand, board, and big board or many board. So we're not going to mulligan this one. We're going to keep it. We're going to hope to draw something. We're going to get a black source and Thoughtseize him on turn one, provided he doesn't play Wasteland. Who am I kidding? I probably still will. Let's see what he decides to do. But we get an island. Stifle's still a card, but I think that we have to take that risk, and we're especially going to take it now that we have that. Go get the Bayou, and let's see if you play Divert. Nope. Okay, I still disagree with this. I mean, unless he's playing like Sneak Show and he's getting ready to like plop something down, in which case this is really our only real option against that situation. Um, I don't agree with this, and the simple reason I don't agree with it is because I now get the choice of what in the world do I see. And in this case, I actually think I'm gonna take the. Yeah, I'll take the swords. We'll make him spend 2 mana instead of or 3 mana instead of one to get it, and he can have the body. I've got ways of dealing with that. Right now, we're not very well set up to fight against this deck, so that's what he hit. He hit a Stoneforge Mystic. I can live with that. I've got Abrupt Decays. Oh. But, yeah, this is a deck where I actually do prefer to, that's also an option. I do prefer to, what is the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, word's bad for Ian. Wait, wrong mana. That one. And that one. Alright. So, I do prefer to Thoughtseize on turn 2. There we go. I can complete a sentence. And he is Esper Stoneblade. What you got? Oh yeah, the Lingering Souls. I'm going to let him go ahead and flash this back. It's been a couple turns. He may have drawn something, but I'd rather have him flash that back. And that is the perfect card to force that situation. So, yeah, we'll cast that for this. And plop this down. That'll scare a little bit. Hopefully we can get him to flash that back and not decide to use his swords. If he does, then we get to pulse for full value, and we 1-for-1 with the pulse instead of half-for-1. Or we just lose the pulse. You, sir, suck. It was a thought. It was a hope. Let a man dream. The good news is that he no longer has black, which means we get to 2 him in response. Still doesn't have black, but he does have that. That's a thing. Targeting swords. What's your target? Yep, figured. You want your bodies. Ew. Alright, so we're not drawing very well. I am going to get in here. Like, I'm not going to block with this guy anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and get in with him. This deck is typically a good way to fight Liliana. We tend to be a little better set up against it than a lot of the others, and that is mainly due to the fact that we have Pride Mage, we have big body destruction. Terrible with names right now. I'm waiting for the end of the turn in order to draw a card. He doesn't know the card in hand. It's the card that we drew this turn, so we could trick him into a Thoughtseize. Or maybe into a Jace. I mean, that's a thing too, right? Yeah. Let's see what we draw. We may be scooping on this next turn. Stoneforge Mystic, that's a thing. So let's see. We could Stoneforge Mystic, get Jit, and play Pride Mage. He drops the Batterskull, bounces the Mystic, swings with everything. Or, yeah, bounces. He plays the Batterskull, bounces. No, he doesn't have to bounce anything. Probably bounces the Mystic, swings with everything, floors me. Wouldn't bounce Mystic. He'd bounce the Pride Mage. That can't trade with the Batterskull. So let's see. We go up to 4 here. He hasn't seen that I have equipment. Alright, so here's my thought process. If we play both of these out, he can bounce one, play the Batterskull. He'll bounce the Pride Mage because he'll assume that we can't play. Well, we can't play. Yeah, this game is done. Yep. Granted, we would have fetched next turn. Alright, so equipment-based deck. I want this just in case he goes big. There's a thought there. I think that, let's think. Yeah, I think that entirely. Let's see. I like the decay. A lot of his equipment is going to be subpar or sub 3. And the Batterskull we should have a way to deal with. Trying to remember what I typically... Oh yeah, I have time versus this deck, so we can do that. Thoughtseize not as important. And I don't really want as many of them. The extra Liliana would be nice. Like, it's going to suck versus the Lingering Souls, but, I mean, so be it. And, yeah. I think I'll add this as well. That way, if he does have a way to get rid of Thrun, I can get Thrun back. I'm not expecting him to have a way to get rid of Thrun. I'm more expecting him to have a way to get through Thrun. Or around Thrun. So I think this is one of the few times that I'm going to go with a singleton. We'll go with a double. And there's that. Like, he does only have a couple win conditions. What else don't I really want? I kind of want everything. I want my Jit to take care of his Jit as well as Lingering Souls tokens. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to go with. We'll bring both of those in and submit. I don't really want something that he can pitch his Lingering Souls to. Granted, it'll be value for me more than it'll be value for him most of the time. I think the main goal right now is just going to be continuing to do what we used to do, which was smash face, but we don't have choke anymore. Huh. Yeah, we used to just smash face and go for choke, but we don't have that anymore. He doesn't know that we have equipment though. That's in our favor. We know to hold these until turns 2 and 3 now, so that'll be a thing. What else are we looking at? Let's sort that back in. Yeah, we should be okay. If he does have some type of wrath effect, we have regeneration, we have enchantment destruction in case he decides to play moats. Yes, I'd like to play first. They're not as godly expensive online as they are in real life. Alright, down a game, we need 2. This is typically a favorable matchup, but then again, I haven't played it since I had choke in the list, and there were 3 chokes, so it was pretty easy to find one. For as many 1s and 2-ofs as this deck has, are we... you guys don't need to see that. Hold on one moment. I'm going to try and figure out what's going on with Moto. Alright, that was an easy fix. Yeah, we are recording. Alright, so we have a real hand. No green mana, but that's fine. We get a top. I'm not going to mulligan this. Top having Thoughtseize and Sword Up. We're going to hold this until turn 3, so next turn we're just going to go ahead and drop. Ooh. Yeah, they most likely take out their counter magic, by the way. Huge risk. If anybody's still playing choke, it just automatically just wipes the floor with them. That's a choke target. So we'll stop on my upkeep and look. I'll take the Wasteland. I didn't want to put Bob first, but that's okay. I want Bob on top of the Wasteland. I screwed that up myself. Let's see if the game takes it. Hold on. Alright, so the game took it. And that's okay. I'll still take the Wasteland. We'll put him back a land. What in the world is going on with this thing? I'm literally watching it just happen. Like, why are we freezing out so much? Alright, there's that one, and then this one. Take away that stop, and destroy that. So I think that since we did screw that up and put the Bob on second from the top, that will Thoughtseize next turn, leaving up the Scrubland. That'll make him think that we've run out of Thoughtseizes and go from there. Maybe we'll be able to pull a Spell Pierce out of this. Possibly a Brainstorm from the showing of last time. Yep. So we got a Brainstorm. I love making things not worth as much. So we leave up the swords. If he plays a Mystic, we'll swords on our turn, draw the Bob, play the Bob, and go from there. Should have had a Bob this turn, but that's alright. Come on. There we go. Alright. He's done brainstorming. And we see stuff. This is the only thing that I'm all that worried about. And we should be good to go from this point. He'll play the Mystic. We'll swords the Mystic. I'm assuming he probably drew another Jace. So we'll deal with that in a turn or so. The rest of his hand is Tundra Caracas. There's the Tundra. So Feast and Famine. Let's find out if he did. No, he didn't. And we get our Bob. And we do have a Pulse for the Feast and Famine, as well as a way to steal it. Yep, that's annoying. So there's a Batterskull. Trying to think of how we're going to end up doing this now. Well, we can't do anything unless we hit a green source. The second Bob is nice, but not going to be the greatest. Let's see. He can put one into play next turn. So let's be as greedy as we possibly can. So that Snapcaster's getting worse. Should have swung first. Although I know he's not going to do anything with it. If he goes for Lingering Souls, we have a way to deal with that now. We're drawing two cards. I am expecting to get a land. And I mean a green land, because we're bobbing two lands. He's attacking. That kind of weirds me out. One of those few times where this actually gets worse for me. Okay, so explosives at 2. And he's popping. I can live with that. If he goes to do anything really serious, I mean, I have the Pulse. And I'm going to get to look at his hand. So there's a Bayou, a Batterskull of my own, and a Swords. We're going to put it up in this order. And let's figure out what you got going on over there. So that's it, huh? Batterskull and Feast and Famine. I'm going to take the Batterskull. It's a recurring creature. It's probably what he was counting on as well. And we'll go from there. I mean, if he flashes in a Snapcaster and tries to hook up with Sword of Feast and Famine, I have a way to deal with that. So instead, he's just going to play the Feast and Famine. And end of turn, he'll play Snapcaster. Well, that'll work. And when he plays his Snapcaster, we will go ahead and do that. So we're going to need that stop for one more turn. And let's go get our Batterskull. Shuffle effect will be more than welcomed. Probably should have got the Jit, just because I can play it next turn and keep stuff going. So down comes Snapcaster. I'm expecting it at least. Nope. No Snapcaster. Ah, he's got a swords and he wants to get value out of that. Okay. I can live with that. That is something. There's no way that he thought that I brought in those charms, so let's see. So what do I have options at with that? I think I'm gonna go get Deathrite Shaman, because I still don't want any of these cards, and I'd rather go from there. Like, if he doesn't kill it, ooh, if I go get Deathrite Shaman, then that's a problem. If I go get Goyf, I'm pretty much dead. That was something I didn't think about. My mana base only has one green source. So we'll let this go for a little bit. We'll take the swords, and then we'll go get Goyf. Vindicate on the green source. Good man. Does this do creatures? Okay. And Liliana. I'm actually going to redo that next turn. So, next turn I really want to land. Yep. So he's got one open mana. Dear Lord, you were good with that. But you played that out of turn, sir. Alright, we need lands here. These Vindicates are really hurting. Stoneforge Mystic, look. That's Bob. Bob's not going to cut it, but Bob will at least get us something. I'll show him the Liliana if he wants to see it. Do you have a second Batterskull, sir? No, but you have a Jit. Alright, so he's got one card in hand. He's ripping off the top just the same, although we're ripping the top 3 as opposed to the top 1. Next turn we'll take a stop during our upkeep, and hopefully we'll be able to find a land of some kind. Man. I just realized how bad that is. At least he's going to eat a Jit. Or a counter. We're going to pitch the Green Sun Zenith. That doesn't actually seem right. We're in real trouble over here. So let's see. I'm going to pitch this. No cards in hand on his side. Yep, kill the Bob. So let's see. Next turn we can take 5. Be a land somewhere in there. I will take that land. Oh my god, I just did that. Good, at least we can fix this problem. So there's our land. We can fix that accidental screw up in just a moment, provided he doesn't play another creature. If he plays a creature, we're in real trouble. If he drew a Spell Pierce, we're in trouble too. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the Batterskull. Let's look again. There's a forest. Alright. So let's see what we can get. We don't need this anymore. There's an argument for getting the forest, but we don't have anything that'll deal with it. Let's see what's there. If he's got any creature, so he had tons of outs, he just didn't get to them, thankfully. We can go get Goyf at this point, and should be able to do something. Or we could go get Knight. I think Knight's the better choice here. Lingering Souls. I will take... Oh god, he's got that thing. Hey, why did I get rid of you? Now we're in a whole new pickle. So, let's think this over. Yeah, we knew we were going to draw that. What's on top? We can make this decision now. Our own Jit. And a Pulse. Okay. So we'll lose Liliana. I can play the Jit. We'll lose Liliana. We'll lose a card in hand. And then what? Give me a moment here. I have to actually think this through. Okay. So if we play the Jit, he gets at us for 3, kills Liliana. Probably gets Liliana. And then once that's done, we can pulse the token, and then we'll have a pulse for the other ones. Yeah, that seems okay. Otherwise, he just sends 4 at us. There's no Jit, so he can't send more than 4. The next turn, we pulse the tokens, and we have another pulse, so we lose the Green Sun Zenith. Or was that all next turn? That's fine. That's even better. We've already set this up correctly. So here's this. I bet you he's been waiting for that too. We don't activate Liliana, so we do lose a card from hand. He's going to gain a ton of life. If we do activate Liliana, we have a pulse on top. I think it's just better not to activate Liliana and chalk her up for a loss. We have the 2 pulses. We should be able to go from there. He has 1 card in hand. Alright, so he didn't hook up. Interestingly enough. Nor did we take damage. Ah, that's why he didn't hook up. So he's going to ponder. So let's think. We have a Pulse on top of our deck. We have a Knight on top of our deck. We could Green Sun for the Knight, hold the Pulse. We still have the Maze of Ith, I believe. No, I took the Maze out, didn't I? Instead, I think we'll get rid of this. That should make him think that it's a little bit safer. If he doesn't flash it back, next turn we fetch out Knight or Goyf. Is Shaman in there? No, I think Shaman's removed. I believe Shaman was swords. Alright. So, here is said Knight. Good old 5/5. I wish we could have gone for Thrun. Thrun would have been awesome. His hand size is building up. That's a problem for me. We needed to have something to deal with this already, and it has not shown up. Sometimes there are just a few too many different answers. So let's see. I think we're dead no matter what we do here. I think we need to have the Golgari charm. Do we have it? If we get the Golgari charm, we can go get... No, we don't. Okay, so this game is over. A bit more difficult without being able to cut him off of his mana. What else did we have? Ah, there was still the death right in there. I thought I got rid of that. I thought that died. Wouldn't have made too much of a difference. Alright. Let's continue on next round. See you in a little bit.